had no clue that there is an LGBTQ rating, but this raises the question. How many corporations legitimately celebrate LGBT issues versus how many do it because of the rating? And how many are afraid of losing the rating? But what's even more fascinating is that this actually doesn't have to do anything with Dylan. It's all about ideology. So you have this company which decided to work with Dylan, and because of that, and many other mistakes that they did, ended up with a backlash. Their customers just stopped buying their beer. So it's not that the banks refuse to do business with them. It's not that their suppliers refuse to supply beer to them. It's not that the government decided to shut them down. It's not like they got canceled. It's simply the fact that the customers decided to stop buying the beer. And no matter how many times they said, buy the beer, you bigot, it didn't work. So they found themselves in a pickle and tried to weasel their way with a non-apology, saying that they don't want to be controversial. And because of that, they lost their rating. Like, these activists, they literally don't want to understand the situation. Like, they have absolutely no compassion, no mercy, no nothing for their allies. Because this is interesting. Like if someone, you know, tried to feature me on their YouTube channel, and I see that they're losing subscribers en masse because I appeared there, and that person then distances themselves from me, I would understand. I wouldn't force them to do anything. I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, we can be friends behind the scenes, but I do understand that you're operating a business and your subscribers don't like my face. Like, that's fine. But no, right? Like, they wanted the company to stand up for Dylan. And what would that accomplish anyway? Like, it doesn't accomplish anything, right? Like, first of all, Dylan does not need protection. Like, as far as I know, nobody committed a crime against them. Nobody did like what happened to Tucker Carlson, where they have Antifa going to his house, where his wife was there, and he was like, Tucker Carlson, we will fight. We know where you sleep. And none of that happened, right? Like, it was just criticism over the internet. And most of the criticism isn't even directed at Dylan. It's directed at the beer company. But apparently because the beer company didn't decide to have like a strong message and form ranks, they're now being threatened. Well, they're not even ranked. They lost their LGBTQ plus rating. And again, like, they didn't even disavow Dylan. They didn't do anything. They just tried their best in order to remain neutral. That's all. But that's not good enough. That's worthy of a punishment. The nation's largest gay advocacy group stripped Anheuser-Busch of a key metric following the beer's giant backpedaling. Again, they didn't backpedal. They didn't say, I'm sorry once. They didn't fire the marketing lady. Backpedaling would be what the right-wing beer company did. I think it's called Ultra Beer. They said, like, our beer doesn't have chicks with dicks, something like that. That would have been backpedaling, but they didn't. And yet they're being punished anyway. The Human Rights Campaign, which issues a corporate equality index to rate companies on their policies towards workers in the LGBTQ community, told the Belgian-based brewer, that's very important, Belgian-based. A lot of people say that, oh, it's one of the biggest brands in America. Sure, but did you know it's owned by Belgians? Belgian-based brewer that it will slash its perfect 100 score. Bud Light's parent company has been scrambling to fix the fallout from having Mulvaney associated with the brand. That's not the reason, by the way. It's part of the reason, but not the reason. Like, when your marketing lady comes out and says that, oh, our beer used to appeal to people that were fratty, out of touch. That's strike one. Strike two is when you hire a person that goes like, oh, I'm drinking beer and it's sports. Yeah, go team whatever. Right? So you're mocking the hobby of the people that are buying your product. That's strike two. And of course, finally, strike three is the doubling down. But it's very little to do with it. Notice how Dylan went on other companies, even a tampon company. And they're not using the product. You know, if the tampon company would have hired a trans man, it would have made more sense. But no. The tampon company is fine. There are many other reasons why Bud Light has ended up in the predicament that it is in. So, since of the nation top-selling beer have plummeted nearly 25% since Mulvaney posted a photo of Bud Light Tallboy featuring her face on April the 1st, Anheuser-Busch had a key moment to really stand up and demonstrate the importance of their values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. These activists would rather have your company go bankrupt than go against the ideology. These activists do not have any shares in these companies. That's why they go with the bullshit stakeholder, right? They don't have to pay, they don't have to get fired, they don't have to like go home and tell their wives it's like no more money is coming in. They don't have to do any of that. So they don't care if the company goes bankrupt. It's a cartel at this point. I can't see it any other way. It's a cartel. It's like the mafia. Like forcing you, you know, like if you're the shop owner and the police is coming and cracking down on your business because you have illicit gambling, because like the mafia forced you to install the slot machine so that they can money launder, and you're like, okay, we need to get rid of this. The mafia goes, nope, I don't care if your business goes, you keep it there. It's kind of like that, you know? Like even I would be understanding. I would be like, okay, well in their situation, I kind of see, but no. Anheuser-Busch previously achieved 100 on the index, scoring perfectly in 4 criteria. Protection from workplace discrimination, inclusive benefits, corporate social responsibility, and responsible citizenship. However, HRC's May 9 letter, Anheuser-Busch said it plans to decrease to its corporate equity index rating. The company has 90 days to respond. HRC criteria on Friday apparently says that it has points deducted for responsible citizenship criteria. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure like this is used for investors, right? Like if you want to get a loan or something, you have to show the score. Our ERG Employees Resource Group are intended to be a safe space for those who identify with the given community and those who wish to be allies. Yeah, but like when I see what's happening to the allies, I don't know if I want to be one of them. Apparently, Anheuser-Busch continues to face pressures from conservatives. At this point, it's, this is why I do not like the press, because it's not just conservatives. LGBT bars as well are not taking Anheuser. Like, they're being pressured by the right and the left. Like, at this point, it's a cultural meme. Do not touch the beer, even if it's free. It pointed out to Mulvaney's Days of Girlhood series on Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. Right, so, also they lied to people. They said, oh, well, it's just one-off. Like, it doesn't have, it's not something greater or anything like that. Dude, like, we know what your parent company signed up for. But anyway, right, so this was just very interesting. I didn't even know that there is this rating, but apparently it is. And it explains why so many corporations, right? Like, for example, you have Raytheon Missile Defense, like a company that makes weapons, and yet it has the rainbow flag, and you're like, why? Like, if I was represented, like, if my sexuality had the flag, the last thing on earth that I would want to raise it is a company that makes missiles, but yet, here we are. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.